Okay, excuse me, it's noon, and so I'm going live, but I don't have anybody here yet. So we'll give people a few minutes to kind of float in. If you're watching on YouTube, just scrub forward until something starts happening. I'm sure people will be floating in here pretty quick, unless it's the wrong day at the wrong time and it's me who's goofed up. That could be. Okay, here we go. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Kat. Hi, Jane. Hi, Terry. Terry, I do not envy you having to move, but hopefully your situation will be better. So bear with it, girl. Hey, Bossy Butt. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Belinda. Um, Ellen, Keeks. Man, it's moving now. Okay. Hi, Teresa. So, yeah, it's a beautiful day here. I have to say, we're going to get to 70 today, you guys. A week ago, we were below zero, freezing our butts off. Today, it's like a beautiful spring day. So you won't hear me whining today about at least that. It doesn't mean I won't whine. I'll find something, I'm pretty sure. Hi, Joan. So, yeah, beautiful day here. So I'm very, very happy. Hi, Kellyanne. Hey, Dee Dee. Dee Dee went and got Chick-fil-A. I have to say I'm jealous. I didn't get it. Yeah, 70s. Yee-hoo. So, yeah, otherwise, nothing's been really going on around here. I did finish the Candyland passport, which I'll show you in a minute. And hi, Linda. Give Tim a hug for me. Um, and other than sitting around arting and doing some junk around the house, I haven't been really up too much. Yeah, just whatever I want, which is cool. And I'm resisting buying those Tandy books that Dee Dee showed this morning. They are so cute. I want them so much, but I don't need them. It's just one more thing. But I thought today I would. Hi, Missy. Driving you mad at the moment, but it should be very different once we're in and settled. See, that's just it. Hi, so much. Yeah, hopefully the whole situation will just be better, Terry. So, yeah. I wish I was there. I would be helping you, man. We'd be slinging boxes and getting rid of crap. And oh, man, I would so get your ass moved. Now, I don't know I could do that for me, but for somebody else, yeah, I could get you moved. So, but yeah, anyway, I thought today I forgot last week to read out of the official book of sarcasm that Kate so generously sent to me. And it is really fun and funny. So I'm not real sure where I left off. What the heck is going on? Let me get this camera crap settled because something is really wonky around here. How's that? That's better. You won't be able to see it probably, but anyway. Yeah. So I'll just start here because I don't remember where I left off. Advice. The only thing in the world more unwelcome than a baby in a movie theater. Affable, a workplace-based adjective used to describe the suck-up that always volunteers to replace the toner. Affluent, a word that allows you to describe a rich person without incorporating the usual tinge of jealousy and resentment. Aggressive, a forceful go-getter attitude that is greatly admired in business unless you're a woman. I don't like that whole woman thing, but whatever. Aglow, the condition of being flushed with radiant emotion, such as one in the bloom of love, or it might just be gas. Agoraphobia, a sudden attack of fear, anxiety, or panic, such as that brought on by the sudden realization that you forgot to clear your internet history before leaving work today. I would not be looking at porn. I'd be looking at random useless facts, which I was doing just a few minutes ago. Hi, Cindy. I hope I didn't miss anybody coming in. And air, the glorious God-given substance that provides us our very breath of life, while also containing the disgusting, contagious pathogens that will one day kill us. It was written by a dude. Go figure. There you go. I have to say, though, everyone is funny. So And we'll start with, let's just check out Woody Allen, because that guy, talk about creeps. He is a creep. Um, some elderly creep, see, who married his barely college-aged adopted stepdaughter, also apparently made films or something, although any such accomplishment is often usurped by the act of marrying his barely college-aged stepdaughter. Isn't that the truth? That's what I was referring to when I called him a creep. Adopt him and marry him. What the hell? I'm rich. I'm famous. I do what I want. No such thing as scruples, morals, stuff like that. Caring for the child more than anything. Anyway, let's don't get going down that lane. Hi, Jane. Still working and lurking. Okay, so I said I have not bought anything, you guys. The Amazon people need to be checking on me. I'm not kidding. I have not ordered anything. I do have stuff in my cart. Oh, you want to hear something weird? You guys tell me if this has ever happened to you. Okay, I wear my reading glasses on a cord around my neck, and I've broken a few of them, whatever. So I got on Amazon and picked out just some regular, well, I'll show you because this is the story, the weird story. Okay, just like this, just cheap ass thing that will hang around my neck. So I had them in my cart. I just picked out ones just like this, had them in my cart. The other day, the mail shows up, and here's some strings for your glasses. And I thought, I didn't order those. Where did they come from? You guys, they're still in my cart. They just shipped something in my cart that I haven't ordered. And so I went to my email. I checked my email to see if, because they always send you an email and say, confirm your order and give you an idea when it's going to ship. I have not mentioned to anybody, not even Robert, that I was going to order some of these junky things. And they just showed up. What the hell? What? Are ghostas ordering my Amazon stuff? And I haven't checked my credit card to see if there was a charge for them or anything. But isn't that weird that they just showed up? And there's like 8 of them. Was it free? I don't know. I should go check my credit card. I did pay my bills, but usually it takes a few days to hit my credit card. So I don't know. I just think it was weird. And I honestly had not mentioned it to anybody, not even Dee Dee. I tell Dee Dee everything. I didn't even tell Dee Dee. Yeah, like the Amazon ghostas are deciding what I need, because every day I was saying, just hit the order button, because I didn't have a whole lot. And I have this rule. You can't just order one thing from Amazon. It's against the rules. I'm sure somewhere. Hi, Kathleen. Yeah, maybe they just said she hasn't ordered, and so, oh, that's a good idea. Whoever said that. They missed you ordering. You're right, Belinda. Maybe they just said, I wonder if she's forgotten how to order from Amazon. Maybe we'll just pick something out of her cart and send it, and that'll prompt her to hit that buy button. I don't know, but it's weird. Hi, Dorothy. Oh, Dorothy, before I forget. Okay. Dorothy, sometime over the weekend, sent me some pictures that she would like me to show on stream. So let's do that before we forget. I'm pretty sure it was Instagram where she sent it. I hope it was, because I don't do email or anything else on my phone. Oops, don't want to do that. Hang on, Dorothy. I'm getting there. There we go. Dorothy's been arting, and she wanted you guys, and you didn't even have to remind me, Dorothy. See, I remembered myself. They're very pretty, Dorothy. And you can tell the people in chat how you've done them, if it's coloring or it's not stitching. I think it's coloring. But isn't that pretty? Very nice, Dorothy. And then the next one is this one. Very pretty, Dorothy. I think you've been coloring. But your shading and everything is really nice. So I'm glad I remembered. Yeah, well done, Dot. Very, very nice. So I'm glad I remembered. I'm glad you came in chat so I would remember. So yeah, other than my, it is Karen Dosh. Is that the coloring book? Is that what you're saying? It's coloring book? Oh, Karen Dosh would be the product. Okay. So anyway, I haven't done a whole heck of a lot in Scabby, as you guys know, but I did start adding the numbers that are included in the pages. So hopefully I'll be better about that. And that's the neurographic that I did last week, which I like. You're welcome, Dorothy. And then I went ahead and did another one, and I said I was going to add doodling to it. And this is the one, and I did the exact same process that I did last week, except that some of the spaces I went ahead and did some Zentangle, and the Zentangle I used is called Knightsbridge. And I ended up liking this one, I think, better than the naked one. So, yeah. So I did that, and that's that giant paper clip from April. I love it. Midnight Mandalas. Okay, cool. You like this one better than this one? See, everybody's different. So that's cool. I like that. And then I think today I'm going to do magicals, and I got a few pieces of paper out, but this was sent to me by Terry, so I can add my fib art. You like the check one? Okay. Thanks, Dorothy. So yeah, I'm going to try and do a background for this so I can mount it today. And then I did get the Candyland passport done. So you guys want me to start from scratch? Hi, CD. Hi, me. Hi, Brenda. Okay, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. We like the second one better. Yeah, see, everybody likes something different. So anyway, this looks different because I didn't like that white background on the cover. So I went ahead and I colored it in navy blue. And I like it better navy blue. So there's that. And I have white down here because it's paper towel, because I'm going to be doing magicals. So hopefully it can sop up the mess. So, and I did a beginner page with a little passport photo on it. And there's nothing really on here other than her name, which is Mud Pie. And good for use in any area of Candyland, created for use by 3-year-olds and older players with no restrictions. So got an opening page, and then Gumdrop Mountains. You want me to read the whole thing? It looks more official in navy. I agree, Devin. It does. So I'll just read the whole thing for anybody who hasn't seen it. Gumdrop Mountains. What a great first day in Candyland. Visited the Gumdrop Mountains and learned they are real edible gumdrops with huge uniform hunks of white processed sugar. I thought it was all fake. You can just walk around and eat. I tasted strawberry, lemon, grape, orange, blueberry, bubblegum, grapefruit gumdrops. A dream come true. I did land on Lose Your Turn, and I didn't even care because I just laid around and ate all the artificially dyed and flavored goodness. But I've got more adventures ahead. How did I get this lucky? Let's go. Next stop was Peppermint Forest. Holy cow, the aroma of peppermint permeates everything. It actually became nauseating. That didn't prevent me from tasting everything. My breath was minty fresh all day. I met a funny little elf named Norman who was trying to make a stack of peppermint candy. It kept falling and almost crushed him. Scary stuff. After that, I played on a swing tied between two peppermint sticks. On my next turn, I landed on advanced 2 spaces, which put me in the lead. What a day. I brought a peppermint stick with me. I'll eat it later. I hope Norman is eligible for workers' compensation. Next was Gingerbread bread plum tree, and this may be my favorite piece of art in here. Oh man, I don't feel so good. The plums were so plump and juicy, I ate way too many. But I have to say that I exercised extreme self-control by not turning them into weapons against my opponents. I hope I earned a lot of I hope I earned heaven points for that. Lots of them. I deserve them. And it wasn't just plums. The gingerbread twigs I ate were also delicious. I need to find some Pepto-Bismol. Now I wish I had thrown the plums and not eaten all of them. I'll try harder tomorrow. Burp. And then we went to Lollipop Land. Now, I don't think you guys have seen this one. I'm not sure. Talk about a day of ups and downs. The Pepto-Bismol worked, so I was ready to gobble up some hardened, sugary, corn syrupy goodness on a stick. I don't like to think of myself as short. I prefer concentrated awesomeness, but let's be real. I was too short to reach any of the colorful lollipops. The sticks were too slick to climb, and the grass was too long to walk through. The whole day was a complete bust. And some crappy, creepy dork stole my lead. Even though it was very colorful, I have to say I'm frustrated. I hope Dee Dee had a happy birthday because I did this on her birthday. Peanut brittle house. The peanut brittle house looks like it has hives, all bumpy and itchy, but it was yummy. Yes, I chewed on it because being the cute little mousy mouse that I am, chewing holes in houses doesn't bother me even a little bit. It's what I do. I ate as much peanut brittle as my fat little belly could hold. I'm still trailing the dork, but I made a new bluebird friend who's going to poop on his head for me. Hey, all's fair in love and in Candyland and more. March on, warriors. It looks like it's got hives. Molasses Swamp. If the plum tree isn't my favorite art, this might be. Molasses Swamp. What a freaking mess. You know, in real life, I literally look for food in trash piles, but crawling through molasses is way worse. I'm sticky, stinky, and I want to vomit. Molasses is a byproduct of refining sugar cane or beets. For your information, byproducts are nothing but toxic waste disguised as something useful. Don't fall for it. When you hear swamp, run. But I will say that the swamp creature was a happy, friendly, gooey guy who seemed comfortable in all the goo. Help me! Obviously, the toxic waste has made him delusional. I do like the swamp creature. Okay, and the last one, Dee Dee. Collage. I did collage. King Candy's castle. I made it to the castle, and my passport is full. The castle is huge. It's colorful. The trees are made of cotton candy. There are piles of candy everywhere. Everyone is eating, and it feels like a party. I didn't arrive here first, probably because I spent too much time eating and whining, which proves that my priorities remain intact. If you get a chance to visit Candyland, forget your diet, put on your elastic waistband pants, and come eat sugar like there's no tomorrow. So there's my Candyland passport, and I didn't do anything back there. I will do something back there, but yeah. So, yep, collage. I did it. Woot woot. It's not as good as my drawings, I know, but I was pretty proud of the clouds that I put in there with white paint and a baby wipe, Dee Dee. But I have to use that stuff that I bought. So thanks, you guys. So the Candyland game is over. Now we have to go back to normal. Ugh. And this one also was collage. I did the suckers with collage too. So all done. It was fun. I like doing stuff like that, you know, just a little thing that someday somebody will put in a dumpster. Woot woot. But it'll live in there for now. So I thought today I had two options. I could either do my wanted poster. You need a little candy latch, you think? Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff piled up here that I could have worked on, but then because I had no plan today, which is probably going to become uber obvious. Hi, Inked Pulp. Um, I thought today I would do the Ombre page. I was going to do it watercolor, and I thought, well, that's not very fun. So I think I'm going to do an Ombre page with magicals. And I haven't really used magicals for a long time. And I'm not even sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. And for those of you who aren't familiar, magicals were put out by Lindy's Stamp Gang. And you could buy tubes of them. And I don't have any of the little pots left, but they come in little pots. And you have to use a little spoon or something to dip them out and use them. Drove me crazy, couldn't do it. So I ended up buying these little canisters, and then I melted holes in the top so I could use them like salt shakers. And that seemed to work out better for me. But magicals are kind of like jelly printing in my world. Hi, Christina. They make great backgrounds, but after you've done a certain number of them, what next? So if you've never seen magicals, you can, I think some of them you can buy in these little shakers too. This was the gold, but the rest of them I put in all these little shakers. And then so because I live in a moist climate, it's very humid here. I had to use that. Oh, here's a little, okay, I do have the little pots, a couple of them. Here's what they come like. And they come in a tube of 5 or 6. And I don't even know if they still sell them, to be honest. But see, you get this powder, which is awesome, except that distributing it becomes really a pain in the neck. Hi, Justia. But anyway, magicals are very fun. And you'll see, if you've not ever seen them used before, they are very, very fun. What is this? Oh. These are samples of my stamp pads. I don't have this many anymore because I've thrown a ton of them away. So that's what that is. And then these are the swatches for the magicals. And they're really pretty. Some of them have shimmer in them. Some of them are just matte. But I was trying to decide, excuse me, and they're a mixture of colors. Okay, so when you get them wet and they start reacting, you'll see, like for the browns, you'll see blue and red and all the different colors. So I don't know how this is going to work for an ombre, but we're going to try it. So should I do a like yellow to brown? Should I do like a, well, we could, I have like 4 sheets of paper ready to go. Let's do blues to purple first, because that's what I like. And at the end of the day, it truly is all about me. So let's just understand that going in. All right. So I'm just going to pick some of the blues. And the one, oh, that's a shimmer one. I don't think I want shimmer in them. So I'll put that one aside. That's a little bit darker. I don't have a huge, lot of aqua kind of colors. All right, we'll just try that. And then we'll go to navy blue. And then we'll do purples next. Okay, let's do this. And I'm going to have to end up using some shimmer, but what the hell. All right, here we go. Let's just give it a go. Hi, sister. All right. Sorry for the white. The camera hates it, but whatever. They are. Magicals are truly, truly magical. And the trick is going to be keeping them in the section that I want them in. But I think if I start at the top and move down, because I am going to use this in the scabby. So, and it is one of the prompts. So it starts best by getting your paper pretty wet. And it does take a while to dry, so whatever. You know what? I'm going to wet the whole page so it will get rid of that curl. Hopefully. Because if I curl it, it's all going to run off the end over there. All right. We'll just manhandle the paper. What do we care? But it does use a lot of water. The more water, the better. So you can see what happens. And I'll pull you guys down up here where I'm going to be working. And they say they are permanent if it all dissolves. So isn't that cool? Oops. Whack. Take that. How you like that? You want another one? It's probably better if you don't screw with the pages so much. And CB will say, "You're going overboard." Of course I am. Indulge yourself, girl. Yeah, I don't like that it's curling, but whatever. And my favorite one, and I'm almost out of it, and I'm not sure if I can order just one color. And because I use them so infrequently, I probably won't reorder anyway, but look at that. As usual. Oh, CB, you're such a whiner. Okay, I should have brought an extra paper towel so I could daub up some of my excessiveness. But that's why I put the paper towel down, so it can just go off the edge if it wants. Let's let it run down a little bit. See, I still got maybe a third of the page left. Yeah, I'm going to move you guys down with me. Hang on. I'm going to get the paper a little bit more wet because it's... And I'm using watercolor paper, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it does absorb the water so quickly. But I just thought, well, we'll try it. But can you see the red and stuff? Zoom out. Well, I wanted you guys to see what happens when the water hits it. It just goes bam. That's the shimmery one, this one. But I only have 3 purples, so you got to use what you got, you know? That purple is crazy. Yeah, you can see the red and stuff. I'll get a regular piece of paper out here in a minute and put some on there so you can see. But for the scabby, I wanted watercolor paper. Did I say hi, Jane? Hi, Sherry. Hi to anybody I might have missed coming in. Sop up a little bit of the excess water so it dries in my lifetime. Sop up some of this over here on this edge. forgot how fun these are. I did get them out and swatch them for the swatch book. But all I did on that was do a little bit at a time. But I have an idea of what I'm going to work on top of this. So, all right, I should have I should have gotten something out where I can. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just use, this is just a piece of junk paper that I keep here to use to sop up with. So I'll just put it over here behind the camera, and then I can move it over there. We'll let that one dry a little bit. What color scheme do you guys want next? I like that. And I do it on top of paper towels. And then when I'm done, the paper towels are really pretty too. Did I say hi, Ruth? Blue and green. We can do blue and green. You know what? Let's do the next one on just regular cardstock and see how different it behaves on just regular dumb old paper. I don't want that heavy one. All right. Let's see what this is. It's pretty lightweight. It says it's Bristol vellum, but it doesn't feel like that to me. But who knows? Maybe I got the wrong paper in there. I'm going to cut it in half. So if I want to use it in the scabby, it's closer to the size that I'll ultimately need. I do have a pink. If we went like pink to magenta, that would maybe be pretty. But yeah, I do have one pink that I can see right off. Here, we'll look in the swatches. Okay, there's a bright pink. And then that's kind of a darker pink. So yeah, I've got a few pinks we could use. Oh, there's another one. What's that one called? So yeah, we could do pink if we want. Hi, Val. Let's make a mess. Yellow, pink, and orange. Oh, Belinda, that sounds pretty, actually. All right, let's do green, blue first, and then we'll do yellow, pink, orange. But remind me, because I'll forget. I'm going to move down a little bit. And we're going to do it on regular paper. So let's see what we've got. I've got a lot of greens. Let's look here. The lightest, it looks like, is Mad Hatter Mint. Luscious Lime. That one's shimmery. Let's don't use that one. All right, and then going down into, oh, that one's a nice dark green. And then we'll go back into the, excuse me, turquoise. All right. Did I pick that shimmery one again? Nope, I didn't. All right. And hopefully this one. And if you get anywhere, like, see, you can, up there. It just, I guess, floats in the air because it'll end up where you don't want it. All right, here we go. And we're going to do ombre again. And I'll pick which one I like. I'm going to, I picked a shimmer one. Doggone it. And with a little bit of pink in it. What the heck? Isn't that pretty? Just goes crazy. 79 in San Antonio. We're almost 70 here, CB. By the end of the afternoon, we will be 70 or more. Okay, let me get this a little bit wet again. Wow. Going cuckoo. It's getting down really into the page here. I know, CB, you're really lucky. Of course, you had your share of crap this year. I hope we've seen the end of the really cold. The really cold, just, I can't take it. I can't take it. That one has a lot of white in it. The ones that have a lot of white take a long time. -12. Oh, I'm sorry, Missy. I'm going to pick up some of this. And we'll go into the blues now. I might have to touch up that top a little bit, or just leave it. Who cares? Coldest winter in 30 years. Yikes. Yeah, it does look like a lake, as seen from above. Picking up some of the excess. A lot of shimmer in there. Yikes. And then the bottom is Ocean Breeze. These last three were very similar colors, so. And it also has a light of white in it. It's hard to get the white to dissolve, but I like it. This one I'm probably going to have to hit with a heat gun before I can move it. Hi, Rachel. Freezing yesterday morning and it reached 67. Wow, that's a quick warm up. Yeah, I hope we're done. I honest to God hope we're done. Let me show you. Like if you can get down in like this section here where the colors have really separated. That is very cool. You're wearing fingerless gloves in the house. Oh, I'm sorry. We have frozen river at Gdansk. People are ice skating. It's never happened as long as you've lived? Oh, wow. A few years ago, I think it had to be about 15 years ago, I'm going to say, we had a horribly, horribly cold winter. And the cove that I live on the lake actually froze over. Now, I don't think it froze hard enough that I would have walked on it, you know, gone out on it, but it froze all the way out as far as I could see. And that's only happened once in 30 years. This year, we didn't even get ice on the edge. So, but the part of the lake, you have to drive over a bridge to get to Monkey Island. I went to town on Friday, and that part of the lake was still frozen. So I don't know. Thanks, Bossy Butt. All right, I'm going to hit this with a heat gun real quick so I can move it. But this paper definitely absorbed the magicals more than the watercolor paper did. But I think the magicals separate better on just regular paper, but the shimmer just wrecks everything. But to get the magicals to dissolve, you've got to use a lot of water. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Karen. All right, I have to get up and move these. I might be able to toss it over from here. There you go. I did. I only had to bump you guys a little bit. But hopefully this paper towel will come out really pretty because I'll end up using it as well. Let's do watercolor paper this time. And was it yellow, orange, and pink we were going to do, right? The pineapple, I do remember this one, the Pineapple Paradise. Oh, that was so pretty. So we have yellow. Let's see, I have a couple of shades of yellow. This is Bonjour Butter. We'll start out with a light orange, Mai Tai. And then a darker version. And then the pink, and I'll have to do small bands. Pink Ladies. And then a dark pink. Plumeria. I kind of think I might have all the magicals. I don't know, but I kind of think I might. All right, this is the textured side. So let me kind of bend it, and knowing that it's going to warp, we'll just try and jack with it first. Ready? Ready? Ready, set, go. It is saturated. All right, let me move you to the top and pull you in a little bit so you can see better. Sorry if it's fuzzy, it won't last. Hi, Cat and Paste. I'm going to try not to overdo it this time, CB, okay? Don't hold your breath. You're not going to see as much color separation in the yellow, obviously, because it's a primary color. Oh, we got a little bit of blue in there. How'd that happen? Orange, we should see a little bit more red. That orange is really cool. I'm going to try not to mess with it too much. But I do try and get all the powder dissolved because it makes it easier to work on, you know? Try and move out a little bit. Looks like there should be plenty of water. I think. Used for a coloring background. Well, if you don't get all the powder completely dissolved, it's not permanent. And then the powder does leave a texture. So probably stuff that you can add to, collage, you know, something like that. Now, this pink is not even doing anything. Come on. But you can see the blue in the pink. Maybe I didn't get the holes very big on this one. Let's see, what other pink do I have? I have another pink somewhere, I think. Well, we're just going to go with that. But there's a lot of white in that pink, which is going to be hard to dissolve. I know I'm getting carried away, CB. I can hear you in my head. Stop already, stop. Shh, don't talk to me. Maybe this pink will be darker. It's coming out more readily, that's for sure. Yeah, I like that it's very organic, that it just, whatever happens, happens, and you're just going to have to live with it because you can't change it. It just is what it is. I could try to get some really dark at the bottom. We'll see what we can do here. Would this work with donut sprinkles? It might, Cat and Paste. You probably should try it. Yeah, one of my very favorite that I ever did, and I think I still have it. I think I saved it. I don't have the heart to use it. Was a blue and brown one. Oh, it was so pretty. I might do one of those again today too. Yeah, that section right in there with that light pink, that is really being a pain in the neck dissolving, but we're just going to have to leave it, I think. I got too much yellow, but it's actually a pretty good ombre. Yeah, that is my favorite color combo. blue and brown. One of my very favorites. All right, let me hit it with the heat gun real quick. I can sop up some of this over here. I forget about playing with magicals. Actually, since I did the swatch book, I have to say I've been using a lot of products that it's not like I'd forgotten about them. I just, I don't know, just don't think to get them out. And, but I have been using a lot more products that I'd either forgotten or whatever, and I still love the swatch book. I showed it to my neighbor. Remember last Monday, one of my neighbors came over and I said, I can't talk. I'm streaming. Well, she came back, and she's the one I gave all my, all the art supplies to her kids. So got all that out of here, which was very cool. And she loved the swatch book, and she's not even an art person, but she loved the swatch books. She said, oh, I wish my kids could see this. And I said, well, when they come this summer, we'll get it out and look at it again. They are fun, Sherry. Let's do a blue and brown one. I have to use what little tiny bit of navy I have left. Ugh, that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. And then the browns, let me see. I think it's this one. South Shore. We'll try that one. What's this one? Oh, I don't like I have copper and gold, and I'm not real crazy about either one of them. And they have a black one. We'll probably just do it just to see what colors are in it. Cafe au lait. All right, that's my brown choices. And this one is, what was it? Grab a Guy Gold. I only bought that because it said Grab a Guy. Not really. Okay, maybe this is the one. Sandra D. Sepia. Let's take all those out. All right. You like the paper towel, me, right? They get very fun. All right, we're going to do blue and brown. Let's turn it over so the curve's going that way. Look at how much powder is just hanging out around here. I'm sure I've got it on my hands, in my nose. Probably not healthy, but whatever. All right, we're going to put the blue on first. Just and a little bit goes a long way. So if you buy these, like, you'll have them for a long, 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 long time. Yeah, this is the one that I really like. I'm going to have to get this wetter. But on the browns, you can see the red, the orange, the blue all separating out. It's very cool. And one of the problems, I don't like it. Maybe it doesn't bother other people, but if your paper gets puddled, and that's why I thought to use the watercolor paper, because it was less likely to get areas, you know, where it starts warping, where you end up with puddles, because the puddles end up kind of dirty. And I don't like that so much. But look at how pretty it is. I crack you up. I crack me up. And I have to live in this head all the time. Not fun. I love blue and brown. So pretty. All right, and I've got paper to do. What? 2 more. Wait. Yeah, 2 more. I mean, I got tons of paper. It does look like 4th of July, right? And this one's perfect to me, just like this, because you can see the color separations, and I don't really want to get it any wetter, but to get those powders to dissolve, you kind of don't have a choice. All right, let's add just some dark brown because we can. Look the other way, CB. You can't really tell that it's the dark brown. It's all right. And I don't know where all that red came from. Can you see that? I'm going to drag you guys down real quick. Well, now I don't know where it is. Right there. See all that red? I have no idea where that came from. They would be great to doodle flowers on. Bossy? So much for all that organizing I did when I was swatching. That's all right. I got nothing to do. Mine too, ink pulp. Blue and brown together. I don't know why it's so appealing, but it is. Just makes me happy. See, there's another real red there. So the blue must have some red in it somewhere. I don't see it in the other ones, but right there and right there, you can definitely see it. And it wasn't there before. Maybe it fell out of the brown. But look at this. I'm going to pull you down. Hopefully you can see this. Look at that right there. Isn't that cool? Hi, Laura. You played with yours the other day. They are fun, and I forget about them, but they are way fun. And this one, I'm going to leave a little bit of white in there. I hesitate to mess with it because I'm liking this one as I start messing with it. I'm just going to sop up some of the excess water. Hit it with a heat gun real quick. What did I do with it? Here it is. I kind of think it's better if you do just let them dry naturally and let the paper absorb whatever water it absorbs, and then the magicals are just left there. It's probably better to do it that way, but being on stream, it's a little bit hard. Scan it so you can use it over and over. I don't do that as a rule. I don't scan really anything. Use it once, and when it's done, it's done. That's that. Get over it. All right. Anybody else have a color combination they want to see? I haven't used the red. The red will knock your eyeballs out. And I think black is kind of a dumb color. The dark brown takes longer to activate. That's true. Where's the focus, you freak? I don't think B is here today, but B sent me a really funny meme about focus. And y'all can start using your imaginations. But every time I see this now, I will think of B because she sent me that funny meme about focus, you freak. Red and pink for Valentine's. Okay, first of all, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not a fan of Valentine's. I think it's a manufactured holiday so that Hallmark could sell cards. See, the little napkin I'm using just to pick up the colors is pretty too. Like that purple, that is so pretty. So anything you use, I hope I hadn't blown my nose on this before I used it, because now I want to use it. I don't ever put brown and red together. Now, the colors in my house before I changed furniture was navy blue, tan brown, and kind of a maroon color. And I love that color combination together. Now it's changed and it's a lighter blue and tan, and I don't like it so much, but that's okay. Robert's going to ruin the furniture and I'll get new. You're a fan of Valentine's because you get chocolates? I'll just buy chocolates anytime I want. I don't need to wait until Valentine's. I just think it's manufactured. I promise you, if I don't know that you love me, like you're not kissing my ass daily year round, don't wait till Valentine's because your butt is already gone. That's the rules around here. You need to let me know daily by kissing my butt around the clock. And Robert's done pretty good at that. Let's do some red. Red and brown. Let's go ahead and try that. What the heck? This red it's called Queen of Hearts Red. Now this is going to knock your eyeballs out. I do remember the red was like uber. Pink and brown. I'm not a fan of pink and look at that red. Bam! There's enough pink in that red. I don't think I need any more pink. You're a sucker for romance when it comes to chocolate. Yeah, you can buy me chocolate anytime. I don't eat that much chocolate, honestly. What was this? Oh, this is Steampunk Sepia. This is the darker of the browns. Oh, it's got shimmer in it too. That's probably why I'm not a huge fan. But actually, I don't mind it at all. I added some mini spray bottle with water and sprayed water with it. Don't mix the colors, just use one. Came out neat. Yeah, see, I have the mini misters. I don't want it all running off this edge. Let me see if I can get it to settle down over here. Now, see, I love that brown in there. That is really pretty. Let's see about adding some little bit of crimson. I don't know if the crimson's going to be a lot different than the red I used originally. Oh, I do like that brown, the way it's separating out up here. Like, that is very cool. Yeah, thanks for this color combination. I actually really like it. Okay, what would happen if I added a little bit of blue? I think they are, Karen, very similar to Brushos. I think one of the differences, and believe me, it's been years since I looked into any of this, but the magicals, excuse me, the magicals are supposed to be permanent when dry, and the Brushos, I think, are never permanent. They will always move. Now, caveat to that, it's hard to get these completely dissolved. So that whole permanent thing, I think is misleading because it's really, really difficult. I mean, you can see how much water I'm using here, and it's really difficult to get all the powders completely dissolved. The white takes forever. I mean, you've absolutely got to just saturate it beyond belief. Magicals is the brand. They're put out by Lindy's Stamp Gang. And I think Kat put a link in earlier, and I think she found them on Amazon. I think I ordered these somewhere else, but yeah, I slept, so I'm not sure. See, what I like is just a little bit, I don't want the blue to kind of take over, just a little bit of blue here and there. And when I was using the spoons with them, oh my gosh, it was hard to control where your powders were going, really hard. So that's why I did this, put them in the little shaker bottles, and that seemed to help. And I liked them better after I did that. You're in therapy, cool view, work hard. So, yeah, I like this color combination. Definitely different. Don't know how I'll ever use it, but it's very pretty. I'm not a fan of red, to be honest. And believe it or not, at one time my kitchen was red and blue. It's not anymore. I've got a little bit of red in there, but not much. I'm just not a huge fan of red. Robert he loved red cars. Very first car I bought myself was a used Volkswagen, and it was red, and I loved it, and its name was Devil. And my college roommate and I used that car like a freaking Jeep. We'd take it off-road, and I love Devil. But the thing about a red car is that paint oxidizes really quickly. And it just didn't look new, you know, and I suppose I was in college, so I didn't have time to be waxing and doing all the crap that you got to do to keep your paint job looking pristine. But I ended up having to get rid of Devil because it needed a new engine and I couldn't afford it. But I wish now, all these many, many years later, of all the things I wish I had gone to my dad, borrowed the money, fixed Devil, and kept that car. I've always regretted selling Devil. All right, I got one more piece of watercolor paper left. Give me the Autumn Maple Crimson. I have Crimson, Autumn Maple Crimson. Look at that. Look at that. Vale, we can give it a try. You want me to try it? I don't want two of red, though, so let me get out another piece of paper. Caca paper that I don't care about. You'd think I'm short of paper around here. What's this? This is just 20-pound copy paper. Let's try it on that. I think it's 20 pound. It's either 20 or 24. Your dad still has his first car? Jamie, his first car that he bought himself was also, his was a navy blue Volkswagen, and I loved that car. And he fixed it up, man. It was a pimp mobile, I swear to God. And he loved that car. Always loved Volkswagen. And the cool thing about Volkswagens back in the day, I don't know if they're still this way, but if you were mechanically inclined, you could work on your own car. And Jamie, oh man, he worked on that car all the time. And he could do everything with his Volkswagen. And I don't know, it's probably over a year now. He'd been shopping and shopping and shopping, and he finally found, only his is a convertible Volkswagen, and he bought himself another Volkswagen. So, and I'm sure just like everything else he does, he'll work on that thing until it's absolutely pristine, put back in its factory condition, all new parts, all new everything. Now, I don't know if I've ever done this on 20 pound. So this could be really funky. But here's your Autumn Maple Crimson. And this has shimmer in it. Oh, the problem with 20 pound is, man, it does not hold that water very well. Very pretty veil. Very pretty red. And you can see all the colors separating out, right? It's very cool. Passing it on to his grandson, that is awesome. But yeah, I wish I'd kept Devil. Wondered, well, it's probably in a junk pile now somewhere. It was a good car, man. My roommate and I had so much fun in that crazy car. And she had one of her parents' like hand-me-down cars, and it was a boat. I can't think of the name of it. I can't believe that, but it was yellow. And we had fun in that car too, but we had more fun in Devil. Devil was just the best. And then after that, now keep in mind, I couldn't afford to get Devil fixed because they wanted all the money at once when they fixed her. Hi, Joanne. So what did I do? I sold Devil, went out and bought a brand new Datsun. But the difference was, and I was so poor, you guys. Oh, I was poor. The difference was I didn't need a down payment, and it was monthly payments that I could probably not eat macaroni and pay. Times were different then. But yeah, I went out and bought myself a brand new Datsun. And I hadn't had that car. Well, I don't know how long I'd had it. Not very long. But then I got a job working for Arco downtown. I started making some real money. And I used to ride the bus into work because I lived in Denver and on the outskirts of Denver. So I would ride a commuter bus into downtown Denver for my job. And I hadn't had that car very long before. And I'd put a nice stereo in it with nice speakers. And it wasn't very long before some dumbass broke into my car and stole the speakers. And after you have a car that's gotten broken into, maybe kind of like your house too. I don't know. I've never had a house broken into, but I've had another car stolen. Well, I'll tell you that story. That's really weird. But anyway, you never feel the same about the car. I never felt the same about that Datsun. And I loved it when I bought it. Yeah, I never felt the same about the car, so I didn't keep it very long. But my husband and I, this had to be in 1982 or 83. Anyway, we did too, Ellen. Well, no, both of them were stolen out of a RTD park and ride, where you park. And anyway, Jim and I, by then we were living together. And but both of us commuted into Denver on the bus. And so he had a BMW that had been imported from Europe. It was like there weren't a ton of them on the road, okay? Anyway, so we got off the bus one night and walked around the park and ride, and our car is nowhere to be found. So we asked somebody to take us over to the police department, and we reported the car stolen. And we were in there. Well, they separated us first of all. And we were there like the longest time. And they asked both of us, can you prove you were at work today? Well, of course we could. We were at work all day. And come to find out, they finally put us back together and said, the reason we asked you all these questions, and it was just endless. It seemed like, do they do this for all stolen cars? Come to find out, the BMW had been used. They knew where the car was. The the BMW had been used in a bank robbery in Boulder, Colorado. They drove it 2 blocks away from the bank into a residential neighborhood and just left the car. So they had found the car and they knew it had been used in the bank robbery. And by then it was in an impound yard. But BMWs are really hard to break into. And they had actually just wrenched the driver's side door so they could get in and unlock the car and get in. And yeah, it had been used in a bank robbery. So we took it, of course, and got it all fixed up. Of course, you couldn't get parts because it had been imported from Europe, blah, blah, blah. Took forever. And we hadn't had that car back maybe 2 weeks. And Jim said, I'm putting the car up for sale. Because after somebody has stolen your car, you just never feel the same about it ever again. Here's another really weird stolen car story. We had a navy blue pickup truck with a camper on the back of it. And Jim and I, when we'd go camping alone, would just take it. And by that time, I wasn't working in Denver anymore. I would think I had gotten the job at the bank in Boulder. But Jim was still driving over to a different park and ride now. They'd opened up a new one closer to our house. And he drove the truck and parked it and gone to work that day. And that night he called me, said he got to the parking ride and the truck's gone. It's like, holy crap. So, of course, I went and picked him up and we reported it stolen. And my mom and dad at that time were traveling and they were on their way probably down to Oklahoma because I was telling my mom about the truck being stolen. And she said, you know, the weirdest thing happened as your dad and I were driving across Kansas today. Your dad and I both remarked about how the truck they had been following was identical to ours. Now, keep in mind, we had a camper on the back of it, and they were 2 components that we had put together to make this truck, right? What are the odds of 2 of them having the same components? And Mom and Dad knew the brand of the camper shell and all that stuff that we had. And she said, we followed that truck most of the way across Kansas today. It's like, are you kidding me? Well, come to find out, when we were talking to the police about it, they said that is the exact car that people who sell cars for their parts, they steal those cars and take them into Mexico and part them out. So he said, you'll never see the truck again. But I tell you, we never got in the car and drove that I wasn't scanning the road looking for that truck all the time. I just could not help my brain. I looked at every car to see if I could find that truck again. So yeah, had 2 cars stolen. All right, what happened? Bonnie and Clyde, right? What happened to Keeks? Our Jeep Cherokee was stolen once, found the next day, crashed into a policeman's front yard. That's crazy. Had a car stolen right out in front of our house. Yeah, I've heard of that too. So, are you taking off, Joan? Bye, Joan. Have a good afternoon. Sorry, I'm just yakking my head off. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun. I actually really like this one. It looks like a crime scene. Yeah, I didn't want the puddle to move, but it moved. I'm going to sop some of that up. I don't know why I'm coughing again. There was shimmer in that color Vale asked for, the autumn color. There's a lot of shimmer in that. Don't use copy paper. Like this one. Can you see down here? Like that whole area right there. I love that a lot. I might end up turning some of these into tags for this scabby. But I got to get some of the water off this one. Copier paper is not a good choice, but the crimson color is gorgeous. I will say that. But yeah, I'll go ahead and use these. And this one, okay, on the ones that still have powder left undissolved, yeah, I do too, Terry Brett. I will probably spray these so that when I work on top of them, things aren't moving. Because you can see down here, like a lot of the powder didn't dissolve. And that makes it really hard to work on top of. So I'll spray them. But yeah, that's pretty. I don't mind it. And it still looks like a crime scene. Whoop, whoop. All right, I got one piece of paper left. We can try it. And then I'll show you the ones that have kind of settled down. And because they keep changing. Even after I'm done messing with them. All right, here's another paper towel. This one I probably totally ruined by just overusing it. I should have stopped while it was still cool looking. Oh, that side still has some pretty places. That purple is really pretty. All right, I'll put that aside so I can use it and get another one. Of course, the paper towel here. Black and orange, no. Sorry, Ellen. I'm just going to say no to black and orange. What was wrong with that? Devin, yeah, it's been doing that at Dee Dee's too, hiding comments that I have no idea why it would be hidden. But yeah, I've noticed that at Dee Dee's. That's been happening. All right, one last piece of paper. What color do we want? Now, also, when you're working with Magicals, you have to keep in mind the color wheel. Like, I'd like to try some of that purple with some yellow, but when you add yellow and purple together, you're going to get gray. It's going to turn muddy really bad. So, yeah. So if you get Magicals, just keep that in mind, that when they mix, you're going to get what the color wheel tells you you're going to get when you mix them. So I do have green, Joyce. Yeah, they're not really pretty greens. Let's look at the greens. Let me move that before I start getting powder on it. And they're not in any really color sequence. That one's a shimmery one. That one's pretty. Merry-go-round green. And the olive green is very pretty too. Merci beaucoup. And I don't remember on these. I don't remember what I painted on the bottom. Oh, that one's pretty. C'est la vie. Let's find that one because that one's really pretty. C'est la vie. That's merci beaucoup. Where's this one? Because this is really pretty. What did I say it was? C'est la vie. Oh, there it is. It just doesn't look that color. All right, green and what other color? Green and yellow would be pretty. Green and blue would be okay. Orange and black is too Halloween, and I'm not a fan of Halloween either. Green and brown could be very pretty. Right, Bossy? Green and blue? You're just misunderstood, Carrie. Me too, all the time. I'm not the perfect angel everybody thinks I am. I don't know what this cough is. I don't cough any other time. Green and yellow with a little bit of brown could be very pretty. Let's try that. All right, I like the pineapple yellow and the steampunk sepia, or what's this brown? Cafe au lait. I think that's the dark one. I don't want the dark one, I don't think. I think I want the South Sea Shore. That is a whole mouthful. I do have a halo and a crown. I sent it to you the other night, Kat. All right, green, yellow, brown is what we're doing. All right, this paper towel on my thing is just sopped. All right, I'm just going to do it random. Just random. I'm not getting all carried away. CB, did you notice that? Whoa. This comes out a lot faster than I expected. Okay. I wish the paper wouldn't curl. That's very annoying. Now see, it's getting some puddles that are going to be ugly. Ugly. Oh, that's pretty. I don't know. Anytime you add the brown, it's not disappointing. And it looks like I'm putting a lot on. I'm really not. The holes in this must be clogged or very small. Yeah, that's pretty. Very pretty. See, up there's real ugly. So let's add some yellow. Oops, didn't mean to do that. You know, another thing I've never tried is putting the powder down first and then adding water to that. Oops, what did I do? Stop. My screen kept going little big, little big. That looks like a hurricane right there. Hi, Motion 929. Yeah, magicals are way fun. Way, way, way fun. We're going to try, but I'm not going to do it on copy paper. That's for darn sure. Let's see what else I have around here. Just for funds, I think I have a piece, some ATC size. Well, I thought I did. What did I use them all? No, here's a couple. All right, we can just do some funny little experiments. Because I can always cut more ATCs. Oh, I have these measured out for like postage or something. That's weird. Wonder what I was planning. We'll use the backs. We don't care. If I didn't do it, I obviously wasn't that motivated. Okay, I have to find another space to put these. I like the green, yellow, and brown. All right, now we're just going to do a little experiment. What's a pretty color? Let's do the purple. Now, the water could blow all the powder off. I don't know. Or maybe just spray it once to get it a little damp. Add some powder. And this is just cardstock, so. And then totally saturate it. Cattail copper brown. I do have the copper color. Yeah, cattail copper brown. We'll try that one in a minute, Val. What one does this go to? The tops are getting separated from the colors. Probably not a good thing. Just saying. Okay. I just wanted to see where there were piles of powder still. If I did that, if I could pick them up. Can you see the shimmer? Oh, that was another thing I was going to try. Okay. But I don't have an ink pen inked up right now. Doggone it. What else could I use? I guess I could just use a dip pen. There was something else I was going to try. Let's do another little one with the copper brown. Red hot orange. Red hot poker orange. Yeah, I have red hot poker orange. You want those two together? This paper absorbs that water really, really fast too. All right, that's the Red Hot Poker Orange. And what did I do with the copper? Yeah, can you see how quick it dries and curls? I don't like that. Stop it. Yeah, this particular paper, absorbs everything like immediately. It goes really dull. Okay, to this, I'm going to add some of that really dark brown with it. Ooh, that's interesting. I like the browns a lot. But now the powder, the paper has absorbed so much of the water that the powder is just sitting right on the top. And now I'm just playing. I don't know that I'm going to use these for anything, just messing to see. That one turned out pretty awesome, but you can see how the white is just sitting there. It did not, it kind of dissolved, but not fast enough to, I don't think, affect the colors at all. So that's just weird. But I'll bet Lindy's has sold a gazillion of these magicals. Yeah, it's grunge. It's grunge for sure. Yeah, they'll be okay, ATCs. If I ever make ATCs. Well, I was thinking the other day I was going to make some for this scabby anyway. Oh, and I wanted to ask anybody, first of all, if you've completed 90 of the prompts, I'll put you on the list for the giveaway. And is there anybody who's doing the scabby who needs to swap to get some fib art? If you do, speak up now and we'll start trying to do some swaps or something so you guys can get that prompt done. Okay, and I've got one more card, so let's do one more color combination, then I'll show you. I like these little ATC ones. They're kind of cute. They're little cute babies. Okay, Inked Pulp, you need to swap. All right, anybody in chat can volunteer. If nobody volunteers, I will happily send Inked Pulp some fib art. And I might just pick it out of my stash of stuff people have sent me too, you know. Or if there's something specific you want, ask for it. I don't mind doing that. But Inked Pulp, let me put in my email address. Oops. I might give you the right one. Yeah, that is. All right, there's my email address, Inked Pulp. Okay, bye, Ellen. Have a great afternoon. Inked Pulp, send me an email. Give me your real name and your address, and I will happily send you some fib art. I have no clue why I'm coughing. All right. we've got one more card. Let's do one more little ATC size. And you'd like to have one of my drawings. Nothing too elaborate, just something drawn by you. Got it. It's yours, inked pulp. I will do that. If you don't mind, I might make a copy of something out of the Candyland passport book. Or I could just redraw something. If you'd rather have a monster or something like that, I don't know. I draw lots of stuff. I put butts on things. You want butts on things? I could do butts on things. Actually, right now, Brian Cook is doing a giveaway of butts on things of his original drawing. And Terry Brett and I are madly trying to win. And if I won, I probably would, I'd probably give it to Terry. But yeah, I think it would be so fun if Terry, he's doing it for like 10 days. So, and Terry, are you surprised that he's not getting more participation? Because like yesterday's, when I went back and looked, it was only like, oh, a letter would be good. Ink pulp. What's your first initial, or what initial would you want? Because yeah, a letter is a good idea, Joanne. Gosh, this is driving me crazy. Give me a letter and I'll do a decorative letter and something else. All right, we got to pick out another color combo. What do we want? What do we want? I will always go to anything blue. Let's do blue and orange. Now, the weird thing about blue and orange is a C. Blue and orange are opposite each other on the color wheel. So when you mix them, you're going to get mud. But we're going to try and do this all scientific and stuff. Scientific and stuff. We don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to do something. But yeah, let's do blue. Well, I'm going to do the orange first. And I am not a huge orange lover, first of all. But let's see. Mango Mania. And then when it doesn't work out, you can say, you just told us 2 minutes ago it was going to turn to mud, dumbass. Why'd you do it? Because I think I'm smarter than everybody else. But that paper is absorbing the water so fast and setting those colors that I think I might be able to get away with it, because the colors aren't going to mix. Like this orange is going to be already set. You like the letters I made for you? Okay. Ink pulp setter. Yeah. Cheryl. Okay. Cool. Cheryl, send me your address and I will send you some happy mail so you can get some of your scabby prompts done. And anybody else can go ahead and indicate whether or not they need something for their scabby, and I'll do my best to either match you up with somebody or do it myself. I don't mind doing it myself. But if somebody needs to be punished, I don't mind doing it. Okay, see, that worked. Where you can, hey, zippity-doo-dah. Now I want to sing zippity-doo-dah. And I'm not a good singer. Welcome. I don't think you've ever been here. I think if you'd ever been here, I would remember zippity-doo-dah. You came in time to hear me cough like a maniac all day. All right, I'm going to pick up some of this blue. And And I'm going to go back in and get the other areas. Okay, so my plan worked because I'm freaking brilliant. What orange did I say I was using? Yeah, it was Mango Mania, I'm pretty sure. All right, I'm going to go back in here. Yeah, see, this paper is absolutely just absorbing these colors. So, I mean, it will not even take any more water. So, let's see. I used to be a Denver Bronco fan, so I loved blue and orange. Worked out better than I expected. I should have ended up with just mud, nothing but mud. But I think it worked out, right? See if there's a little bit of that powder that's still not absorbed. Bronco colors, exactly. Denver Broncos. But when I moved to Oklahoma, yeah, I didn't get the Bronco games, but I used to like have my nephew used to send me all the articles out of the paper and everything. So I kind of kept up with them. But over the years now, I've just kind of gone, whatever. You can't be a Bronco fan when you're no longer a Colorado native, I guess. But it was hard for me to stay kind of in the loop. So I got out of the loop. All right. I'm going to show you what we've done so far. The paper towel is going to be fun to use. You're a Texan? What are the Texans? Houston has a team. I don't know. I'm so out of it now. I can't even tell you. All right, let's look at what they look like when they're dry or drying. Boy, that blue is overpowering. I'm not sure which one of these I'll use for this scabby. Okay, my original thought was to go from blue to purple. That's what that looks like. I actually do really like that one. This will probably be the ombre that I use in the scabby. Blue to purple. And I don't know what I'll put on top of it. It could be, Dorothy, I just thought of that a minute ago. The dried powders. Yeah. Could be making me cough. I've lived in Denver and Houston, lifelong Broncos, secondary Texans. I grew up in Lakewood, Colorado, zippity doo-dah. I lived there for 40 years. And then I moved to Oklahoma. And honestly, you probably think I'm crazy, but looking back now, I think moving to Oklahoma was the best decision I ever made. Yeah, it could be the powders. I'll have to go back and look at some of my older streams and see if I did it then. You lived in Aurora? I have 2 siblings that live in Aurora still. So, yeah, I didn't even do the Super Bowl this year. They're making everything so divisive, you know? And I'm sick of it, you guys. I'm sick of it. Why can't we just have something that everybody in the country can enjoy? Now, I'm done bitching. But that's really where I'm at with all of it. I'm just sick of it. I'd rather put a hot poker in my eye. Born and raised in Amarillo, Texas. You are a Texan to the core then. Yeah, I like this one. I like that little burst there. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it, but I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Another thing is if there's parts of it that I like and parts of it that I don't like, I'll cut it up. Another thing I did, and I did this for Dee Dee, I don't know if she ever used them, but I used a circle cutter and cut circles out of them. So she had, it does, Bossy, it feels very undersea. But I sent Dee Dee a bunch of them for planets for her collage. All right, that's the one that I originally wanted to use for the scabby. And then we did a green blue one on just, it said this was vellum paper. This is not vellum. I don't know how it got in the wrong place, but green and blue. I actually do like this one, but I don't like the shimmer up there. It was very distracting. I don't think you can see it on camera. Okay, there. That's the only shimmery part of the whole thing. Very distracting to me. Not a fan. Not a fan. And there's a ton of white powder in there that did not get dissolved. And I don't think if I re-wet it a second time that it would do anything. It's done. Cut it off, girl. So, yeah. This one, I do like this one, and I just got it re-wet, so this is just absolutely sopping. So this one's not horrible, except that shimmery part at the top. I like this down in here. So, yeah, that one will be okay. I think I can use that. For an ombre, this one probably came out the best of all of them from yellow. This was yellow, orange, and pink. Got kind of red at the bottom, or dark, dark pink. But for an ombre, this one probably draw a turtle. On the green one, okay, I'll have to remember that, Bossy. This is probably the best ombre that we did. So I don't know, maybe that one belongs in the scabby. And then the blue brown. And this one was on that vellum, just regular vellum, which isn't really vellum, but ignore that. But this one I love. Look at that up there. Is that not cool? That brown really separates out the colors in the powders. And see, this just didn't get dissolved enough, but I couldn't put any more water on the paper. It was already too papered, or too watered. But the blue brown, very cool. This one would be very cool cut up. So I might do that. What else? Oh, I've got 2 over here. I've got 3 over there. Hang on. So weird that we were doing the exact same thing over and over and over, and they all come out so different. This one was green, green, yellow, and brown, I guess. But they get, like this here, it shows movement to me. I don't know. But it's pretty. A lot of blue in there. Looks like surface of the moon or something if the moon had green on it. So that one's not horrible. I've got usable stuff here. I don't know what we were doing here. It's got a lot of shimmer in it. Can you see that? I don't know which color I used that had the shimmer, but there's a lot of shimmer in there. It was blue, red, and brown. Is that what it was? This one definitely would need to be cut up. It's not going to be useful the way it is. Right? Xandra would love him. Xandra over in Egypt. I hope she's having the best time in the world. And then this one I just did on copy paper. You can see why copy paper is not the best choice. Not that you couldn't use it for something, but it just, yeah. Autumn maple. Okay, Vale. Which one feels circus themed? I think the yellow, orange, pink looks circus themed. But yeah, this was the one, and it's very shimmery. A lot of red shimmer in this one. Not horrible, but yeah, definitely not my fave. And then these little ATC size that we were just experimenting with, which I actually like these. The blue and red one. It's a murder scene. Yeah, exactly. So I like the blue orange. And see, everyone that has the shimmer, I'm just not a huge fan. But this one's got a ton of shimmer in it. But I do like the purple. This is probably my favorite. Just the brown with the little bit of copper. It's cool. Yippee skippy. I wonder if it is the powder that's making me cough. I've got to find the lids for some of these. They got separated. You love the shimmery magicals? See, I'm just not that big a fan. But I'm not a shimmery, glittery kind of person. Just not. And then the napkin. So yeah, I think I can use these for something. Don't you know? But it was fun to play with magicals. Now, where am I going to put that paper towel? Clean up this damn mess. And that was pretty much all I was going to do today, you guys. So I could probably end early, or let me move. Oh, there's one of the lids. All right, I'm going to mute you for a minute. I wonder if it is the powders because my breathing sounds funny. And other than that, the only other thing I was working on this morning was a snarky coloring book page that may or may not end up in the Scabby. I know, Kat. I used to use them all the time. You know whose fault that was, though, Kat? That was Eileen's fault. Play magicals, play magicals. She was on me all the time. Play with your magicals, play with your magicals. And if she told me to do it, I did it because she scared the snot out of me. I don't know if I thought she was coming to Oklahoma to sit on me or what. But yeah. All right, you guys, I guess I'm just going to end early. And hopefully you'll see some of these pages. My poor mat is saturated too. So it's not going to be too much of a mess to clean up. Show us your snark. You want to see the whole book of snark or the coloring book page? Thanks, Terry. Eileen always wanted me to make a mess. I'm going to save the snark and I'll show it next week. You have to wait till next week, bossy butt. Sorry. Sorry. How did I get CB on the screen? I don't know. All right. I'm going to call it a day and see if I can go get rid of this cough. What the heck? All right. There it goes. All right, you guys. Go have a great rest of your day. I'll figure out what I'm going to fix us for dinner. So I know your time is valuable. I truly appreciate you spending it with me. I'll see you. I'll see you around at somebody's stream. Hopefully Kathy Berg will be on tomorrow. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to Joplin tomorrow, so I may or may not be around. All right? All right. Love you guys. I'll see you later. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Brenda. Go outside, get away from this. All right. Love you. See you. Bye.